Well, hey, good evening. How the heck are you? Did you guys have a good weekend? Good evening to you all. Hello, Vinny. I see you over there. It's good to see you all. Thank you, those of you who sent me happy birthday salutations. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, 8 Mobius. I appreciate it from you. I'm glad you're all watching, but especially you. No, not you guys. I love you all, but you. How are you doing? You doing okay? You having a good day? Well, I just, we haven't talked in a while. It's been a couple of days, so I hope you're doing okay. Catch up with me later in the Discord or something. We'll get back to each other. Anyway, so yes, Mobius, I thank you for the happy birthday wishes, and I had a good one. It was a lot of fun. Saturday, we kind of had a birthday weekend. I got Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is just fantastic. Folks, if you haven't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, please treat yourself and see it. It is fantastic. Everybody in it's great. The digital well, I don't want to spoil anything. Definitely don't want to spoil anything. But it's worth your time if you like Ghostbusters. It's absolutely 1,000% better than that insult that came out in 2016. It is the true third Ghostbusters movie, although the cast of Ghostbusters, including Harold Ramis, I should add, all say that the Ghostbusters video game that came out in like 2009 is the third Ghostbusters movie, and by all accounts, it's wonderful. I picked it up on Steam for a few bucks back on the winter sale, and I have not played it yet. It is waiting on me to tear my attention away from the post-apocalypse beauty that is Fallout. Although at this point, the real beauty is in me rebuilding the world, or at least as best I can for various settlements and what have you. Cal, for a tangerine, I am ancient, but for a mountain, I have hardly begun. Thank you, Dungeon Minister. Thank you very much. And my actual birthday was yesterday, December 23rd. I remember looking up online. I was very excited when this 29 again. Yes, 39 and holding. He's 39 and holding on to everything he can, as the great Honky Tonk song said. But I was very excited when you could go online and you could search for things in different periods that happened. There is nothing historically that happened on the date of my birth that's good at all. I was like, what about World War II? It's 1939 to 1945. Someone pause it all the way back to like 1933, the Japanese invasion of Manchuria. But yeah, nothing good happened. Nothing good happened. So, I mean, good things in war, but like there were no great victories or triumphant, liberations or anything like that. So, where's my power armor graveyard in Fallout? It's scattered around the garage of the Red Rocket. I installed a mod for Fallout that lets you remove the dead bodies from endoskeletons or exoskeletons, I guess, and take those as well. So you strip all the armor off, you take everything off the body of the person in, and then you do the thing that lets you pick the frame up and throw them out of it, and then you can drive the frame home. So I just started doing that, and I've got like 25 power armor suits, just standing around there with different suits of armor. Brotherhood of Steel powered armor, T-51B, a bunch of Raider suits, one almost complete XO1 suit, and I drive an XO1 suit in the game. So, but anyway, I was born. That's true. That's very true. It beats the alternative. Although if I wasn't, would I know? I don't know. Anyway, so anyhow, Saturday, watch Ghostbusters Afterlife. Lots, just pitch perfect, guys. Pitch perfect. Except that it serves to remind me of how old I am, how terribly, terribly old I am. But I 8 miniguns everywhere. I don't use the minigun that much. I generally, it's just short arms. It's rapid fire laser weapons. I picked up a laser gun that for a long time before the game started leveling with me was like cheat mode, because it's an auto fire laser that does like 40 points of damage and an additional 25 points of bleeding damage, like continually. So you shoot somebody with it, they take 40 points, then they take 25 points of bleeding damage a second for a set number of seconds. And just, you go into some of the fixed leveled areas, like places you've been to before, and it's like, Zot, I'm just going to turn my attention away from you. You'll be dead before you can get another shot off at me. But yeah, I mean, the only downside to it is you got to reload it. Anyway, moving right along, not talking about Fallout anymore. Then Saturday evening, what was I doing Saturday evening? I was running around like a madman on Saturday evening. What did I do Saturday? Well, we had dinner. That was tasty. Had some pizza. I haven't had pizza in a while. It was pretty good. Sunday, I went down to Gods and Monsters and I treated myself to a birthday gift, which I will show in just a few minutes. It's that unboxing bit. And also Sunday, my youngest went to a Renaissance fair. And she had a fine old time. And that is where I got one of my great birthday gifts. Oh, lest I forget, my wife and my daughter made me some absolutely fantastic homemade chocolate chip cookies. Now, I like cake. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy cake. But this year I was just like, man, I would just love a big, huge batch of chocolate chip cookies just to call my own, that I can enjoy over a period of many, 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 many days. So that's what I did. I requested that and I got that. Now, another gift is incoming later this week, possibly the first of next week. And that is a Resin 3D printer. Now, I know, last year when I got my 3D printer, I gushed about it, but I said, no, never a resin for me, the fumes and such. This one actually has an active charcoal ventilation system. And according to everybody using it, it is essentially fumeless. Like you got to stick your nose up to it and take a great big honking inhale to get any fumes out of it. So I'm just casting about looking for a good bargain on that. So I want to show, my daughter got this at the Renaissance Fair, and I want to show this off. So I'm going to click on there we go. So you guys check that out. Lovely little Dungeons and Dragons pin, which I think is just super cool. Don't you? You should. And so this will occupy a place of honor on a favorite hat of mine. Quite pleased that she saw that and she got that. She said, I wanted to get a set of dice, but they were really expensive. And I was like, honey, don't worry about it. Then she said, no, for myself. Ah, well, too bad for you. So the other thing, and this is what I picked up at Gods and Monsters, is this Dungeons and Dragons Archival Art Postcards. It is a set of 50 duplicated. So there's 100 cards, and it is classic D&D art on postcards. You can check that out there. Come on. There we go. And I thought this was just darn cool. Now, I'm not going to show all 50 of them off, but I am going to pull out some of the classical ones and show them to you guys. There are some not classic ones, some for 5th edition and so on. I think it's telling that the lion's share of the what they consider great arts or great art in D&D focuses mainly on classic D&D. So let's take a look at this. It mimics the style of the art and Arcana book somewhat, which if you don't have, why? Go get it. Go to Amazon and don't go to Amazon. Go to your local comic shop or a local bookstore and get Dungeons and Dragons art and Arcana. Especially if you can swing it, do get the deluxe set because it comes with that great copy of Tomb of Horrors, the original Tomb of Horrors. Doomsword, it's okay. And we'll take a look at this. I'm gonna read the inside flap. Usually I like to have a PDF to show you guys, but obviously I don't. A PDF of this would be entirely pointless. But you can see, I think I showed you guys the back there. We have some truly iconic art there and on the spine also. And even if that decides to not focus, I'm sure you guys can see what that is. Come on. Come on, what little webcam. You can do it. Anyway. So let's take a look inside. It says on the back, the ultimate collector's set that will take you back to the first time you opened a D&D book. 50 unique images, 100 postcards. So we'll just take a quick gander in here. And yes, indeed, this is a chonking stack of postcards. Now, do I intend to send any of these? No. You will not get a postcard from me. Sorry. You're just not going to. But I you know what? There's a blurb on the inside flap. Nothing like a flap blurb. A Mobius says, it's funny, everyone's 3D printing now. I just ordered my first Hearst mold to make my own dungeon tiles. I guess I'm a little behind the times. Or I'm a little behind the times, I guess. Before I got into Dwarven Forge, I looked at Hearst Arts. And I asked myself, I said, look, am I going to devote hours and hours on a Saturday to mixing this stuff up, pouring this stuff out, laying this stuff out, making sure it sits in a place where it can dry properly, popping it out, cleaning it up, painting it, and so on and etc. And I said, and ultimately I said, no, I'm not. I will print out a tiny handful of stuff and then I'll promptly forget about it because that's me. And I would have a bucket of plaster and a stack of unused silicone molds sitting around my office and me looking at it periodically going, I should do something with that one day. But that's me. If you've got the stick-to-itiveness to do it, then good for you. I salute you. So Dwarven Forge it was for me. Anyway, let's look at these. Let's look at these postcards. Let's set this box over here. Now I want to make something clear. This is D&D as lifestyle brand stuff. I'm going to steal a little bit from Red Letter Media here. I am not a, don't ask question, just consume product, then wait for new product, then consume new product. That ain't me, okay? I'm not a D&D as a lifestyle brand. I got this for the classic art prints, So I'm going to flip through these. I'm going to show you guys the classic ones because that's why you're here, right? I mean, does anybody care about the cover of Storm King's Thunder? I don't. So here we go. It's the David C. Sutherland painting from the Holmes Introductory Dungeons and Dragons set. A classic piece of work that. Cover, Dungeons and Dragons basic set. David C. Sutherland III, 1977. Oh, you know what? I didn't read you the box flap. I said I was going to do that, and I didn't. Pardon me. This collection of 100 postcards celebrates the history of Dungeons & Dragons with 50 memorable illustrations that have appeared on module covers, starter sets, and other beloved books and products from every edition of the game dating back to the 1970s. The back of each postcard includes information about the art and provides plenty of room for a written message, which again, you won't get. I suppose one day, I'll die one day, and this will get packed up and put in a box with some intention of doing something with it. And then my grandchildren or my great-grandchildren or nieces and nephews or whatever will be going through my crap and say, boy, Grandpa sure had a lot of this role-playing stuff. And then they'll find that and be like, whatever. But then, it's better than going, kids of the 70s going through your grandpa's stuff from the 1930s. And it's like, the old stereoscopic images of naked tattooed women or something like that. Anyway, so David C. Sutherland's Dragon. Ooh, here's a nice one. Of course, the iconic cover of the Player's Handbook. Cover, Player's Handbook, David A. Trampier, 1978. Yes, that painting is in the Norman Rockwell Museum. There's another one. I don't know what that is. Here we go. Monster Manual front cover. They don't, it's like, there's none that are like you hold them like that and it's like a whole book cover. Cover, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual, David C. Sutherland, 1977. They'll need someone to tell them what a postcard is first. Yeah, it's like a tweet, but it takes, anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks to get to you from wherever it was sent. There's an ugly, ugly painting of a mimic that is not classic at all. Ooh, here's a nice one. That is cover, Be In Search of the Unknown. David A. Trampier and David C. Sutherland. The third, of course, 1978. I guess we can go with this as kind of a classic thing. Was the Baldur's Gate map. And that's something I want to point out. There's actually a couple of these cards. This does qualify as a gaming product. And I'll see if I can find the other one. Not classic, not classic. Classic, but we're not stopping. Not classic. Just straight out of your nightmares there. You gotta love it. Errol Otis and the four-armed gummy-faced creature there. Gummy worms on his face. Speaking of Errol Otis, we got this jewel here. This is cover, Dungeons & Dragons Basic Set, 2nd edition. Errol Otis, 1981. Love it. Oh, I'm going to... The back here, let's see. This one is cover, Deities and Demigods, Errol Otis, 1980. Ah, here we go. A Jeff Easley piece. Cover, Unearthed Arcana, Jeff Easley, 1985. You gotta love that one. And this is the one, remember when I said there's actual gaming stuff in here? Well, here we go. You guys know what that is? You should know what that is. Well, I will tell you. Tomb of Horrors map, artist unknown, 1978. I would think that the artist, well, I mean, Gary designed the map. The actual person that did the layout, that could have been Dave LaForce, or possibly Darlene Pickle, or Darlene the artist, I should say. Now, I lied when I said there was no wraparound cover piece. There is the Fiend Folio. That is the cut. This part over here being the front cover, and of course it wraps around to the back over here to the back cover, Fiend Folio. So cover Fiend Folio, Emmanuel, 1981. The later edition Dungeon Master's Guide cover by Jeff Easley. The Jeff Easley starter set, the whole starter set. I guess this is Forgotten Realms or Dragonlance. I don't know. I don't know. Something Sword Coast. Is that? You guys will have to tell me on that one. But that is Jared Blando. Map of the Sword Coast, Untitled. I mean, I think Map of the Sword Coast is the title, right? Forgotten Realms. There we go. A little more Tomb of Horrors there. A little Tomb of Horrors work from Errol. Dave Sutherland's Dreaded Roper. I'm kind of fond of Tracy's, but this one's not bad. I feel like I'm doing the thing in Ghostbusters when you're going through the cards. You know, it's like, come on, you can do it. It's a monster with a bunch of wavy arms. Oh, it's just not your day. Zap. This beautiful piece by Jeff Easley. Check this one out. Of course, Monster Manual 2. Village of Hamlet cover, Dave Trampier. Tomb of Horrors back piece, our fronts piece rather, from Jeff D. And I'm just gonna hurry up and just blitz through these because again, no reason to do them all. David C. Sutherland Mind Flayer. Again, we got DCS's Mind Flayer and DCS's Roper, and they're nice, but there's no art from Tracy in here, and that's a shame. Way too much. Now, I love Clyde Caldwell's work, even though I'm not a super fan of Ravenloft or Forgotten Realms or anything, but Caldwell's work was pretty awesome, and Gary liked it too. So there's some Clyde Caldwell, something I don't care about, something I really don't care about. Don't care about. Aha! Ha, ha. More Tomb of Horrors. Dave Sutherland's Tomb of Horrors cover. Love it to pieces, man. Let's see. I think we're actually starting to wrap around because, like I said, there's 50 and 50, not 100 unique ones, which, if you ask me, is a missed opportunity. Oh, here. Okay, so here we go. Tiamat from Dungeons and Dragons cartoon marketing art. No artist is listed on that. Now I know this is Forgotten Realms. This is the Water Deep from Forgotten Realms. Who did that? Jason A. Engel. So there's one or two actual gaming products in here. There's another D&D cartoon piece. Venger or Venger. But I think we're on the verge of wrapping around. Yeah, there's the basic set or introductory set cover. So we've come to the end, and you guys have seen all the classic stuff in there. So what do you think? Worthy or not? Is that something that would grace your gaming shelf or whatnot? You'd have to decide for yourself. For me, well, I had a couple of gift certificates that were given as gifts to me to buy. This is nominally. Let me look at the old MSRP on this. This is $22 US at the time of its release. So, yeah. So, I had a couple of gift cards. I saw it was something I wanted, and I picked it up. Would I if I didn't have the gift cards? Probably not. I would probably not have picked this up and paid $22 for it. It's nice, but is it going to serve me a purpose? Am I going to feel like I got to have that? I really, really got to have that. I just don't know that I would. So Doomsword says they'd be nice on the desk and nice in a frame on the. You know what? That's something I could see doing, like putting up back here. Like I got Vampy up over here. That's the new Vampirella where they've changed her origins and stuff. But I could see getting like one of those frames that's a bunch of frames together. They're like stuck at odd angles, and putting one of each of the classic ones, the really nice classic ones, and having it up behind me as something that might be something that I would do with them. I kind of jokingly said, "Oh yeah, there's actual gaming products in here." Uh, nah, not so much. Yeah, hang them up in small frames is about all I could think of that you'd really want to do with them. I mean, if you're an obsessive postcard writer, you go traveling and you were really going to send them to your friends, like, you go to Gary Con and you take, I don't know, the one of Strahd, the view is great from here, wish you were here, and send it off to your friends or family or whatever. I suppose you could do something like that, but these are conversational pieces. I don't see anyone really using them. Honestly, I think a little more of a blurb on the back and less of a concern about, oh, we should make these usable cards. Also, I would have liked to have seen a better selection of older art. There is good art. You guys have seen it. We've sat down and we've looked at OD&D together, and I mean, like the Harpy, that great picture of the adventurers. They're fighting the Malirith, and then there's another more a type 3 demon, I think, that's kind of lunging in. On the other side is there's the fighter and the magic user. But then those probably wouldn't go because there's naked breasts, and you definitely couldn't send that through the US snail these days. Doomsword says, I ended up with their cookbook for Christmas. Lacked a little imagination in places, but has some utility and good production value. You know, man, that is, I don't know. I'm not faulting you or anyone else who enjoy it. Yeah. Try that again. I'm not faulting you or anyone else who got the cookbook and enjoys it, but that is something I don't know that I would have ever I would ever do. I would ever get that. Now, I would um definitely try a recipe or two out of it. Like if somebody said, "Hey, I've got this. Here's how you cook this one thing. If you want to give it a shot," I would I would probably try and make at least one recipe out of it. Assuming it's not completely tongue in cheek and is like, "Oh, you need toasted dragon ears for this." Obviously that's not going to work. But yeah, that's what I got. I would have had to be insulting in order to not have gotten it. That's a little cryptic, but I'm going to take your word for it. So my little D&D pin, which is going to go on my cap, and that book, and the upcoming printer. And we have a donation. There's a helpful donation to help continue making the studio a better place for me and for you guys, that is coming hopefully tomorrow. It's not much. It's a spare computer monitor. It'll sit here, and then I'll have a smaller one here. It's a larger one, and then I'll have a smaller one off to the side, and it'll make it a little easier yet for me. And then I think, with the exception of the lights, which the lights are going to get upgraded soon too, with the exception of the lights, Yang, did you just get here? All right, we got to start over. Well, I got this pin that my younger daughter got. I got this pin, this Dungeons and Dragons pin. My younger daughter got it for me at a Ren fair. I quite like it. It's a little closet AD&D pin. And I bought for myself this set of Dungeons and Dragons postcards, which feature classic D&D art on them. Well, some classic D&D art on some of them. Others are newer and less prone to be what you would call a classic D&D art piece. But I'm not going through them all again. You'll just have to watch the video. So those are things. And I got some chocolate chip cookies. My wife baked me some awesome chocolate chip cookies, and she bought me the new Ghostbusters movie, which was phenomenal. So yeah, those are all nice things that I got. And a hangover. I actually didn't know. I did okay. I did not imbibe much this year. No, I did not. I'm gonna have a cold and frosty drink tonight when I'm running my AD&D game at 10 o'clock. But other than that, perfect D&D food, chocolate chip cookies. You know it. But that's that's about the birthday haul. As I was saying, Resin 3D printer, gonna order that either late tonight or tomorrow morning. Cookies and beer. Ooh, I can't do sugar and beer. I can do some sweet beers, and ciders are delicious, but things like wine coolers and those beer lemonade combos, like Mike's Hard Lemonade, oof, yeah, no, that tears me up inside. I don't know what it is. It just starts a fire that will not go out. It just damages me inside, particularly if it's on an empty stomach. Very sensitive stomach. So yeah, there will be later tonight. I'll knock back a elbow bend the cold and frosty before, or rather during my Monday night D&D game, which kicks off at 10 Eastern. And speaking of D&D games that happen over the internet, tomorrow night we're playing some AD&D. Yes, we are. Yes, we are definitely are. So just keep your eyes peeled for the announcement, designation of start time, and all that happy jazzmatazz. And before then, though, Kyle Schuant returns, and we will be taking another look at hex crawling, populating out a hex. We're going to be having a lot of fun doing that. We're going to be looking at hex crawling, particularly because we've been talking about OD&D a lot, and OD&D has a lot of focus on castle encounters out of the dungeon. So we're going to talk about that, and I'll link to the previous video when we did that. That's one of the more watched videos, believe it or not, from the before time. Speaking of watched videos, I can't believe I didn't lead in with this because I'm so excited about this. Guys, we are, as of this moment. Now I've got to double check. So I don't want to say where we're at, and we're not. So just drum roll, please. Oh, I don't have a musician. Never mind. We're at 902 subs. Guys, we are at 902 subscribers. We are less than 100 subscribers from the Great Underground Online Gaming Con. That's right. A full event schedule lies 98 subs in that direction. Or maybe it's that direction. Or maybe it's that direction. It's not that direction. 98 away from the con. 902 subscribers, guys. We were sitting in the low 880s, high 870s a week ago last Friday. Not this past Friday, but 10 days ago. Guys, it's coming. It's going to happen. And I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. When we hit 1,000 subs, if you're new here, if you're just stopping by, if YouTube just said, you like Dungeons and Dragons, go to here, go talk, go, watch this guy. And you're now sitting there wondering why some greasy fat man in an Alabama hoodie is sitting in what looks like an abandoned missile silo decorated with pop culture stuff, talking about subs. It is this: to celebrate reaching and breaching 1,000 subs, 1,000 subscriptions on the YouTube channel, guys. We're going to have a free, I should point that out. This is free. I will not send you to some sign up page where you then have to start sending me dollars. You can support me. Right down there. Look down there. Right there. You can support on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But when we hit 1,000, that convention is going to happen. I will be running original Dungeons and Dragons, first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, first edition Gamma World, Twilight 2000, classic Twilight 2000. Tales from the Loop, just because it's awesome. It's a genre game, but it's set in the 1980s. Possibly some dungeon, probably some hero quest, maybe some fight in the skies if I can get my hands on Fitz. We will joust, because Paul told us that was an awesome thing. Guys, it's going to be fantastic. Paul's going to run stuff. Kyle's going to run stuff. I have other people who've already said that they're going to run stuff. If you want to run a game, you'll be able to run a game. When we hit 1,000 subs on this channel, when we break the 1,000 barrier, the con is on. I mean, the con is on right now. I mean, it's not on right now. Like, I can't give you a date. Michael Connor, Hail Lobster. But we will celebrate me reaching 1,000 subs by having that con. And I am super duper excited about the possibilities and probabilities. It's going to open up so many cool things. So if you're just watching this, if you're just driving by, if you're like, look, I never subscribe to any, I just let YouTube take me where I go, or I will search YouTube for specific channels and then watch them and then leave for this, for a convention, for a classic role-playing game convention. Come on over to the team for the big win. Click that subscription button. Click that bell icon for notifications of when new videos go out and when new content comes out. If you want to support the channel, support us on Patreon. But even if you don't do the Patreon thing, subscribe to the channel. Because the more you guys who do that, and the more you guys that go out and tell your friends to do that, the faster we're going to get to 1,000 subs. We're less than 100 away, guys. We're less than, if we have a run like we've had from a week ago this past Friday, every week, we'll get there by March. We can have a summer online gaming con. And you don't even have to travel. Michael Connor says, can I create a bard that preaches to the villains and convinces them to get their lives in order, starting by cleaning their dungeons? Ha. Just subscribe with that. No, I want legit. I want legit subs now. I'm not hawking for fake subs or anything. I'm not asking you to do anything underhanded, because like you see guys that hit like, 20 million subs, and then they got, they hit like 2 million subs, and then they have 2,132,000 subs, and then 2.5 million subs, and it's going on. And I know that the YouTube algorithm is, or is it the algorithm? You are hearing me talk. Churns them, and they do content that merits it. Let me tell you what, guys that go out there and hustle and they make like 3, 4, 5 videos a day. Like, I talk about these folks in a positive way. Clownfish TV, they do 4 or 5 10-minute videos a day on pop culture matters. They scour the internet for things, and they're in front of the camera. Well, they're in front of the microphone, putting together their animated things, putting together links, and they're doing it 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. I might do 3, 4 hours of content in one evening, but it's just me like off the top of the dome. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everybody does this, but guys, you can buy subs, you can buy Twitter followers, you can buy Instagram likes. You buy them in SEO packages. That's never going to be me. I'm never going to be like, Let's see. My SEO is not completely optimized. I've only got 3.3 million viewers. I'd like to have, or 3.3 million subs. Let's get 4 million up. I'm going to call up my people and have them go buy some lots of subs to sub to my channel and work it. And maybe that makes me stupid. Maybe that makes me somebody who doesn't understand how the larger world works. I will take that. I will take that and be an honest, real guy and one of you and one of us than somebody who's completely out of touch with the world. I will be the guy who sits here in this uncomfortable ass event chair in front of this cold ass concrete wall and this hot ass vampirella. Oh, the dungeon minister. Don't look at that. I won't get you in trouble. But anyway, I would rather be that guy who's down with y'all than anything else. I've said it before. I'll say it again, and I'll mean it from the bottom of my heart. If one person was subbed to my channel and they said, your videos really make it for me, man. They make me happy. Thank you for doing these. I'd do it. I would do it. One vid a day or just a week doing a review of a RPG. Well, I may do that. But anyway, and I got stuff to do for certain tiers of subscribers on the Patreon channel. That's a thing that's going to happen. But we're so close and I'm so hyped. 902. I keep refreshing it. Like my mind is just like, no, the line's got to keep going up. It's got to keep, I got to keep getting a sub a day. I got to keep getting a sub a day, but it'll happen. It'll happen, guys. 902 of us said that, and here we are. Well, not 902 of you all in the stream. That would blow my mind. Like if I looked at more than having 902 subs, if I ever looked up here at this thing up in the corner and it was like had the eyeball logo and it was like 902 are watching, y'all would see a man drop dead of a heart attack on stream. It would. It would happen. But I'm just keeping it real, guys, and I'm thanking you all for being here for me. I'm here for you to talk about classic D&D and classic role-playing games and stuff that interests me and stuff that I think might interest you. That's what it's all about, guys. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to be an influencer. If it happens, awesome. Y'all come along the ride with me. Passerby says, if I spam 5e D&D related channels, will that work? If folks want to come and see and you want to put the word out there, wherever you want to put the word out there, do your thing. Do your thing. But I'm going to stop talking about that now because it's going to happen, guys. I brought this up when we were at less than 700 subs, and I thought, well, it'll be a few years. And here we are 18 months later, and we're almost at. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen, guys. So, quote the immortals, prepare yourself. Hello, Imperial Ramblings. How the heck are you? Good to see you, my friend. Roll damn tide. But anyway, I saw something interesting today. This got brought up in the Discord. Well, this guy's video got brought up in the Discord, and I want to link to his video because what are we if we're not a community, right? I want to look at this. Let me see. It was in the off topic. See if I can copy this link here. Copy. Oh, paste it. I'm about to speak in some sports ball code. IR. Did you see that portal transfer from Yuga we picked up? How the hell did that happen? I am pumped. I am so pumped. We're going to shove that down the Bulldog's throat next season. Anyway, so this video came up, and I watched this guy's video. Now, I don't have any spicy takes on this. I promise I don't have any spicy takes on this. Mafit says, thanks for having me. Can I get the Discord link, please? Yes, you can. I will share the Discord link with you guys. Let me see here. Invite people. Let's see. Edit invite link. Expire after never. Here is the Discord link for those of you who are curious. You can come on over. So anyway, this video that I saw, and I watched it and I listened to the guy. This is RPG Elite on YouTube. He's got a good channel, but his video title, and he's a black dude himself, and the video is titled Four Reasons Black People Don't Play Tabletop RPGs. And I thought about what he was saying. Yeah, and welcome the Fit. Thank you for joining up. I thought about what the guy was saying, and I watched the video. And now I got to be honest. We navigate a cultural minefield when it comes to our love of pop culture-y things these days. And it's an unfortunate truth. I didn't know I was just going to be, miss me with that video. But I watched it. I was folding laundry. I didn't watch it. I listened to it. I was folding laundry. And the guy made some really, 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 really great points. And one of the things that he makes up, he's like, I'm a guy with a YouTube channel about Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm black. How many are there? Let me know how many other ones you find. That's right. There are none. I mean, if there are, YouTube SEO is keeping them hidden from us. But this cat talked about the barriers, like, and there are 4 points. I don't want to take away from his thunder. I want you to later, after this, if you've got, and it's only like 15 minutes long, it's worth your time. But go watch his go watch his video. But the 4 reasons briefly are, one, it's cultural. Like, people just think, like, black people just think that D&D is not something that black people do. It's a white people thing. Another is spiritual. There's still a strong belief in some communities the Dungeons and Dragons is satanic in nature. What were his other points here? I want to make sure that I'm giving this proper consideration. So, but basically it was cultural, it was religious, and he makes a lot of salient points. And I thought about my own experience playing D&D when I was a kid, when I was growing up. My first larger role-playing game group, we had the nerdiest of nerd guys, this black guy named Marvin. And I wish Marvin had hung out, because I was only like 12 or 13 and Marvin was about to graduate from high school. He's an honors student. But he and I hit it off. Like, I really liked gaming with Marvin, and we didn't game together hardly at all, but I really liked it. Thank you, AWIG. Ignorance, no interest, black culture, and religion. Yes. I got my audience. You guys, like, you do half the work for me. But But he Marvin was awesome. For the most part, every D&D group I've gamed in has been diverse to a greater or lesser extent. I've gamed with some black dudes, some Hispanic dudes, Asian people. There were, I think it was, gosh, was it the last time I ran an OD&D exhibition? I think it was down at Gods and Monsters. Yeah. I had like 4 Filipino kids sat down and ran 2 characters between them. And they had a final time. They had played 4th edition to that point, so they had played some D&D. But I never, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Gatekeep our hobby. Be a gatekeeper. The people we need to keep out are the people who don't have an interest in the hobby, which you would think would be an easy thing to do. I don't care about D&D. I'm not going to fall in love with D&D. It doesn't interest me. But it's now product. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, don't ask question, just consume product. Then wait for new product. You know, that's the sad reality is that, you know, people will sit down just, you know, just to be seen as game tourists, and they never want to engage no matter how hard you try. But beyond that, guys, if somebody expresses it, don't assume that like, oh man, that you know, don't fall into the trap of like, man, he's a brother. He don't want to play Dungeons and Dragons. He think that's whack. First of all, you'll sound stupid and patronizing and condescending and ridiculous. And second of all, that dude could be dying for a chance to play D&D. All right. One of the best miniature painters I ever met was a dude named Kamal or Kamel. We could never settle on how it was pronounced, and he would never tell us. He would switch it up too. Nah, man, it's Kamel. Oh, Kamel. You know, and he'd be talking later and he'd say his name to somebody. Yeah, I'm Kamal. Oh, come on. And he knew it drove us up the wall. But anyway, if you're out there, Kamal, you know who you are. Come back to us. Play some D&D with us again, my friend. But yeah, he just had tons of fun. Another buddy of mine, Jason, Mexican. Well, Mexican American, I should say. Loves him some D&D and role-playing games. I'm not saying go out and fill a diversity quota. Don't get all white savior. Don't be like, oh, you poor you poor ignorant underprivileged person of color. Let me introduce you to. Don't do that. I'm just saying, if somebody wants to play, don't make the assumption that there's some cultural divide that's going to keep them from wanting to play. I mean, guys, it's for everybody. It's absolutely for everybody. I mean, and I said before I watched the video, I will own up to this. I said, nah, I don't have any strong feelings about this. It's one person's opinion. And I talked about my first extended gaming group being guys and girls, couple black guys, Hispanic guy. It never really was on my radar. And I take that back. I hereby take that back. I said it in the Discord and I'm taking it back. If you know somebody that you think might be interested, let them play regardless of who they are. Hit them up, ask them to play. I'd be willing to bet that they'll friggin' fall in love with it. You know, really, a really good guy I used to work with in a data center was a huge video games nerd. And I don't mean Madden and Halo. First of all, this was before Halo. Well, maybe not before Halo. But anyway, John was a righteous dude, and John loved him some nerdy computer games. Let me tell you what, and he was a black guy. So, you know, if you see these reasons going down, ignorance, educate them if they want to know. Now, you can't overcome no interest. You can't overcome no interest. That goes back to the gatekeeping. If somebody doesn't want to play, what are you going to do? Make them play? Ignorance is ignorance, regardless of, or no interest is no interest. You can tell them about it. You can tell them how much fun it is. And, you know, you can be anything, man. You know, you want to play a monk, you want to play a paladin, you want to play it, just a cleric, a magic user, just whatever, then, you know, if you can introduce it to them that way. Clockwork Orange training, yes. You know, the black culture thing, I, as an incredibly white person, don't really have an answer for that. I don't. And I mean, religion, that has been a bully pulpit for a lot of people for a long time. You just, you got to let them know, look, it's not a gateway to hell. 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, games are geared towards vanquishing evil, not exalting it. And not, we all talk about the players who burned down the keep and ate the population to keep on the borderlands and took over the Caves of Chaos. I've never seen that game. Every once in a blue moon, when I've let people run evil characters, it's like they go straight to wanting to get their Charlie Manson on, and then they go straight out of the group, or I put the controls back on the game, and they're like, okay, I had my moment. So, Dad DNA says, watch us play. Watch us play. There you go. Watch us play. So that's just, you know, just my kind of thoughts on it. It's a good video. You should check it out, and you should hear the man's thoughts. He's got a good channel. He's got a good following for talking about Dungeons and Dragons. You know, neither he nor I nor anybody will be Cutie Pie level influencers. That's just not going to happen. But whatever. But go give him a listen. Go give the video a check out, and say in the Discord what you think, or say in the comments. Surprise him. Drive the hits on that video up, and he'll be like, wait a minute, what happened here? But that's definitely something you can do, and you should do. So it's good times, and it's good stuff in that video and on his channel. Now, I don't think he doesn't really get into the classic D&D like I do, but whatever. But anyway, so tomorrow night, first half of the show, myself, Kyle Schuant, talking about hex crawling. We'll be revisiting hex crawling, and that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a let's play-ish. Let's unpack some hex crawl stuff. We're going to be sharing screens and all sorts of things that we couldn't do back in the day. Then in the back half of the tomorrow night show, of course, we'll be playing AD&D. We'll have the guys here, the 3 bold adventurers, and they'll be going forward. Of course, we'll have a show Wednesday, and we'll have a show Thursday. Friday, you're going to want to watch on Friday, because Friday, we kick off the Gamma World live stream. That's right. We will be playing on live stream Gamma World. If you want to get in on the Gamma World game, hit me up in a private message on Discord, and we'll open a seat, because we don't have a lot of Gamma World players, and Gamma World wants a big number of players. Let me tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun in a post-apocalypse wasteland. If you've never played first edition Gamma World, it is going to be a rip. It is going to be a lot of fun. And speaking of the show, by the way, if you missed it last week, I highly recommend you watch Thursday. Is it Wednesday and Thursdays? Is it Thursday and Friday's shows of last week? Thursday, we had Paul Stormberg on, and we rolled up our sleeves and we dug deep into chainmail. That was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people watched that, and a lot of people had fun watching us play chainmail and joust. Oh yeah, if you come over to the Discord, I will challenge you to a joust, so be prepared. I will put the rules right on there so you can see them, and you will be challenged. Currently, I've taken the colors back from Doomsword Deathmaster. But Paul and I did some chainmail. We played chainmail live on screen, and we did joust. And then Friday we had Bards of Greyhawk and Alan Hammock and the world premiere of Galap Dreidel, which is awesome. I have one of their albums up right here, by the way. And if you like the intro, not for long. Oh, we'll see, Sir Doomsword. We shall see. If you like the intro music to the video here, do you like that? That kind of Zeppelin-y sound. Now that's not okay. A word about the music, because I love the Bards and I love their music. They were like, "What kind of stuff do you like?" And I said, "Well, Brawny or Brawny or I almost said Brawny or Stomp, different track. Brawny or White Summer, Black Mountainside, the instrumental parts of Midnight Rider by Allman Brothers, that kind of sound." And Jeremy was like, "I got you, bro." And then a short time later, Summer Mountains, the track that you get to hear about 30 seconds of the intro here. So they were here with their song Galap Dreidel, which features Alan Hammock in it, and Alan and I talked about that. So go watch those videos. If you missed them, if you missed those two streams, it is like D&D madness, and I love it. I love it. It is like 5 hours well spent. So, oh look, we just had someone decide to join the Friday night Gamma World game. Alzeta has hopped into the Discord. Hello, Alzeta. Good to see you. But anyway, so yeah, we had a lot of fun last week, and we're gonna have a lot of fun this week, and you guys are gonna get to watch some Gamma World and watch players die in hilarious manners when their brains get exploded. It's like, she's a gorgeous, voluptuous woman. She's a diaphanous dress that you can see her naughty bits through, and she smiles and waves and points her finger at you, and your head explodes for 20d6 points of damage, and everyone around you takes 5d6 damage from fragments of your skull splashing into them, kind of stuff that can happen in Gamma World, and I love it. So all that and more on Friday. I can't promise naked women on Friday. Okay, I can't. I'm sorry. It's a family show. It's not a family show. But I got to keep it search friendly. What kind of stats do GW characters have? Well, I'm glad you asked me that. The reality is that Gamma World is designed to be AD&D compatible. So you get very similar stats to AD&D. I'll have to break the rule book out to give you a straight answer to that. GW, Gamma World, I think is what he's saying there. And there's something else I just for our Gamma World players, for our Gamma World interested, you want to look at the Discord. So pure strain humans are very broken in 1E Gamma World, and Gary immediately fixed that with Jim's Accord, I believe, in GW1, which I can't remember if that's Famine of Fargo or Legion of Gold. But anyway, the first Gamma World module published, you get bonuses. So don't just rush off saying, I'm going to be a two-headed turtle who has psionics and no legs and just levitates everywhere. Because, I mean, you can certainly try to get something like that. But if you want to do a pure strain human with no mutations, there's now a reason and the means to do it. And I'll send you the rules. So, yes, mental strength replaces wisdom. So with all that said, that's about what I've got time for this evening. I've got to get ready for tonight's AD&D, Famine and Fargo. Thank you. I always want to say it's Legion of Gold, but it's Famine and Fargo. Yeah, if you're at all interested in playing any of these games, Tuesday night AD&D, Friday night Gamma World, just hit me up. They're live streamed, so just be aware. At the very least, you'll need a voice connection. We want to hear your beautiful voice, your mellifluous tones streaming across the internet, courtesy of StreamYard. And speaking of courtesies, I do want to point something out here. We go to banners. It is 9:30 Eastern, Cal. So we've got some of our friends over on the left coast who are playing. And so we want them to be able to participate too. See, if I started it at 8 o'clock or even 7 o'clock Eastern, folks out there on the left coast are stuck in traffic or wolfing down the ramen that they can afford. Yes, Famine in Fargo is wait, I thought anyway, we'll worry about that later. But I want to take a minute here. I want to take a minute because it's time to thank those who keep the lights on around here. Digital Discord, Joshua Garlock, Lord Coriant, Ricky Maru 1, 8 Mobius 8, Kevin Reynolds, Joseph Lucas, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damian X247, James F. Keck, and our newest Patreon, William Smith. Thank you so very much, guys. Thank you to all of our Patreon donators for helping out. You're making this happen right here. StreamYard is happening because of you guys. I don't have the StreamYard logo up here in the corner. I can stream out to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I can even add a third. I could go over to what do you call it? What you do? Twitch if I wanted to. I don't want to. But thanks to these guys. And if you want to support us on Patreon, you've seen it going by. You know how to get there. Patreon.com/The Delver's Dungeon. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can for as little as $1 a month. So with that said, I'm going to call it an evening. Guys, it has been a lot of fun talking to y'all. I certainly have enjoyed myself. I hope you guys have had a good time. Keep being good to each other. We'll be back tomorrow. And hey, who knows? maybe tomorrow we'll see the subs in YouTube blow up even more, because we are 98 out, guys. 98 out from the great online gaming convention. And don't you want that to happen? I know I do. I know I do. So have a great evening, guys. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Be good to each other.